Hello everyone and welcome to our first episode of Major League Commander coverage. We're going to be doing things a little differently from our normal weekly videos for our MLC coverage. These games will be largely unedited from the original stream and will feature live commentary from myself and Alan from Mental Misplay. If you're unfamiliar with the MLC, this is a 12-week-long league where players have drafted decks from the CDH Decklist database, and pilots battle it out over a 12-week bracket with players from all over the world. This is all being brought to you by the Mind Sculptors, so make sure you go give them a follow to keep up to date on everything Major League Commander. As always, this episode is brought to you by TCG Player. Hit that TCG Player affiliate link in the description to pick up any of the cards that you see in today's video. And of course, thank you to all of our patrons who make great content like this possible. If you like what you see, make sure to leave a like and a comment on the video and hit that subscribe button. And check out the link in the description to become a member of our Patreon. This is the Eastern Conference game from Week 2 of the MLC with an absolutely stacked pod. We've got Ilvaldi, also known as the Mono White Guy, representing the Mind Sculptors, Rebell Sun representing Sentient AI Everywhere, Kai from the Spellseekers, and Braden from the CDH cast. First up is Ilvaldi on Derevi Stacks. This is a clever stacks deck that uses Derevi's ability to circumvent some of the most punishing hate pieces in the format in order to stack their way to victory. Second up is fan favorite Rebell Sun piloting Kodama Sakashima. This is a combo deck that uses its commanders to put expensive permanents directly into play for free. The two commanders act as an engine that creates a chain that propels the deck towards looping lands for the win. Third up is Kai playing another Kodama deck, Kodama's Timna Stacks from the Brewer's Corner. This is another stacks deck that uses Kodama's ability to work through rule of law effects and take over the board with punishing creatures. And fourth in turn order is Braden playing Okun and Cinder Split. This is a coin flipping deck that takes advantage of its commander's abilities to draw through the deck quickly and work towards finishing combo lines like Twin Flame and Dualcaster Mage or Brain Freeze lines. This is a real battle royale with some truly amazing players and wild lines. So without further ado, let's hop into the game.
Hey guys, I'm sure you can hear us. We're live. I gotta pop the chat out real quick.
So while we're setting up here, good morning to everybody who's joining us. This is day 2 of the MLC.
Yeah, week 2.
Week 2 of the MLC. We have a really interesting matchup today. I think that our stream header has all of the decks and all of the players, but yeah, we've got a couple of stacks decks and a couple of go fast decks in some odd positions at the table. Either go fast deck is sandwiched between these stacks decks, so it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here. People are going to keep some interesting hands, I think.
So it looks like Kai has kept. Rebel is I don't know how many mulls Rebel has gone through, but I'm keeping an eye on all the screens and just kind of trying to understand what's going on as we watch. I think it's going to be really fun, and it's going to be interesting doing it kind of outside of their voice chat. I don't know if there's a way for like us to be listening to them talk and talk over it, so we're just trying to kind of wing it here. So yeah, introductions for those of you who don't know us. We've got Dan, moderately anonymous MTG, everyone's favorite non-binary himbo. My brain every time goes to America's favorite non-binary himbo, but it's global, it's universal, it's so much more than that. So
like the tagline I keep trying to stick is just MTG's favorite non-binary himbo, but everyone keeps going larger with it, and I appreciate it. Like I'm just at this point just trying to be the galaxy's favorite non-binary himbo.
That's so I'm really excited to be casting this live with you. I think it's going to be really fun, and I've decided to start. I've given myself my own kind of surname or what honorific. The Slurms McKenzie of EDH is here to cast this for you guys. I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to be a part of this. And I'm excited to have a co-caster who knows what they're doing, who's researched these decks, who knows what the ideal plays and hands are. If I was doing this on my own, it would just be every spell somebody casts, I'd say, oh, they played that card, that's cool. But so I'm excited to have Dan in here to kind of look and see what the ramifications are of these cards.
You're putting a lot of onus on me to be the smart one in this conversation. I will say, however, I did look at these deck lists this morning before we began, so I do have that edge on me.
Yep. So that's a big part of it, is like I've got the deck lists up in front of me to kind of have an idea Wow, no, Rebel, it looks like Rebel's got a handful of cards there. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think.
I think she's on 6, yeah.
I think Rebel's
It
down to
looks like
6,
it.
which is good. It looks like
Eyes on 7, which is unfortunate. You hate to see that from the stack stack.
it looks like Ilvaldi,
Looks like we're going for first draw.
Ilvaldi just drew big draws. We've got mana compliments, big mana out
Mana
there.
compliments and go. Oh wow, that's an interesting. That's an interesting start. Notably, I know that Ilvaldi is not on Mana Crypt. As I looked through their deck list earlier, oh, Rebel's got Forest into Lotus Petal here.
Oh, and we're making moves. Love to see it.
Yep, cracking the pedal. And what do we got? Oh, that's a Grim Monolith.
Big mana.
Wow. All right. That is some very big mana.
Mm-hmm.
Got Kai going Windswept Teeth. Cracking 4, checking the hand. Gonna make a good decision, I'm sure.
Yeah, I love that. I usually try to. Recently, I've been on like play fetches first to get under opposition agents, but like sometimes you want to hold them in order to like save it for mana fixing for something you draw later. Okay, buy you into Arbor
Turn 1 Arbor Elf.
Totally
Nice.
rad. That works.
Yep.
So we're on green.
Solid
black.
turn 1.
That's a cool playmat too. That looks like, I don't know who made that one. That's a really good one.
I believe that's a Machina playmat.
Yeah, I was gonna guess.
We've got Braden going, I believe that was a Flooded Strand into Mana Vault here.
Okay. A little bit of shortcutting, and can't quite
tell.
I've got a little bit of artifacts on Braden's stream, but that's okay. Oh, into Cradle. The guy's coaster right now with no creatures, which is wild.
What is in all these hands?
Guy's coaster is a very intense play.
And they pass. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
What is going on?
That's awesome.
Wow, that's interesting. I can't imagine what's in their hand right now.
It's gonna be something really rad.
I unfortunately didn't see how far they mulliganed down. It looks like a breeding pool from Rebel here. Did you happen to see? Oh, we lost Charles, and here he comes back. Did you happen to see how low Charles went on his mulligans?
No, I didn't. I think it was like at least 6. It could have been a little higher than that.
I didn't think he went down so low, but I don't know. I'll be interested to see what his first play of the game is.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're going big mana. We're at 5.
Well, Rebel's gonna spend her monolith for a
Tatyova. It looks like.
Tatyova, yeah, very nice turn 2 play.
And does Tatyova does
not award the extra land drop.
It does not award the extra land drop.
It does not.
So Tatyova's just lets you get
gain life and draw a card on land drop.
Gets value off of that, which is awesome. Oh, nice. We've got Callahan in the chat. Callahan, if there's any updates that you have for us, please feel free to give them through the chat. Do you know how many cards Ilvaldi started with? What he mulled down to?
So we've got Kai on Untap Godless Shrine, Bayou playing Soul Ring, untapping the Bayou with Arbor Elf to play Avacyn's Pilgrim. So looking like he's got the Oppo Agent or Aven Mind Sensor up.
Yep. That could, it could definitely be some sort of fast stacks piece that's going to slam down. Yep. Charles mulled down to 6, it looks like. So that makes a little more sense. What is
yeah, it looks like Kai is on both Opposition and Aven Mind Sensor, so it could very well be either one of them.
Yep, so we could see that in response, or we could see that at just end of turn for value.
And is that the Cinder Split from Braden here?
Yeah, it looks like it. Let's see if Spell Table recognizes it.
So whenever a player wins a coin flip, Braden is going to draw a card, force draw from the Cinder Split. What is he rolling for here? At the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. So wow, he just won how many flips there? Is that 5 cards he just drew?
Why did he flip so many times?
At the beginning of combat on his turn, he flips a coin until he loses a flip. So it looks like they just flipped and won 4 or 5 times in a row. I did not see the exact count there. We've got Chrome Mox exiling. Can't quite see what that is underneath there. I think that's Frantic Search. Tapping the Mox for... Oh, Mystic Remora. Very nice. Oh, we got the misstep from Ilvaldi on the Remora here. Paying the mana for it with the Confluence, which is interesting. Further making me question what might be in their hand. Got one for an Arbor Elf here. That's not terribly exciting. Although it does turn the Cradle on.
Oh, that's good though. We definitely want to see people like on lands, you know, like on being able to use their cradles. But
just hoping that they got the force to back it up here, but nope, looks like the ship after that, unfortunately. They must have some pretty good cards in hand that they are waiting to cast.
And is it on
Rebel with the draw?
Rebel?
Yep. That is Deserted Temple. Triggering Tatiova to draw and gain. Temple is the one that she can use to untap another target land, okay. Oh, and that's the Somberwald Sage, I believe? I can't quite tell, but if it is a Somberwald Sage, it's a very strong play.
Oh, it looks like it. Yeah, absolutely. With the hawk on the shoulder. That's awesome.
Yeah, now I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so things are going to get pretty nutty from Rebel next turn is my guess. Oh,
absolutely.
There's the Oppo.
Yeah.
Kai was holding on to that Oppo, so end of turn, there it comes. Callahan's saying that Charles likes to slow roll people, so that's kind of what to expect.
I know that he does. From playing with him, I know that that's what I'm saying over and over again. I'm very interested to see what's in his hand because I know that Ilvaldi is a very, very good player. He's not the kind of player who would keep a really risky hand like this for the most part, I think. So, I'm really interested to see what's going to be in that hand.
We've got Kai cracking the Flooded Strand. That Oppo is also going to do really wild things as well.
That's where the slow roll can come to bite you a little bit.
Yeah, holding on to some sort of tutor or something. So we didn't see any worldly tutors or anything in response to the Oppo hitting.
Yeah, and I know that Ilvaldi's on a lot of the creature tutors except for Greensun Zenith, Court of Calling included, so. Oh,
and there's Timna from Kai, and I can't quite see what card that was. I saw it for just a second, but it's under some glare now. It's not a creature.
It might be the enchantment that makes angels. I can't remember the... Oh, no, it's a Rule of Law. Oh, goodness.
Oh, good times. Okay, Rule of Law. All right, things are going definitely according to... So Kai's got that... So we expected to see one of those in this game for sure, some sort of Rule of Law effect.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is probably going to slow down Braden, I would guess, but...
It's tough to say because actually Rebel and Braden's, both of their decks do a lot without casting a spell.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say is that definitely Rebel's going to be able to play under that very easy, or over it, or whatever you want to call it, very easily with the Kodama effects. So once Kodama hits, which I assume it would be next turn, that's going to start getting nutty. And let's see what Braden has to do now. So let's put Rule of Law in the Gatherer as well.
Rebel definitely has to be careful, though, because just any amount of interaction is really going to ruin her day.
Yep.
We've got Braden apparently going to combat.
Okay.
They lost their first flip.
Oof.
So, moving on to second main, I believe. And what is it? Oh, this is the Frenetica Freet. So this is going to allow Braden to make infinite coin flips if they would like to. I don't imagine that is the call here, but that is a strong card. They're just pausing here, though, which makes me think that they're perhaps presenting to the table that they would like to flip an infinite amount of coins.
Okay. Wow, that thing just hits and you get to flip as many coins as you want?
Well, you pay 0 to activate it, and when the when the effect ends, an opponent gets to choose whether or not it phases out or something. If the flip ends up in your favor, Frenetic Ifrit phases out. Otherwise, you bury the Ifrit. But you can just keep activating it over and over with it on the stack. So you can just it dies or phases out, but then you just get to go through all of the different coin flips, which you get the benefits for from Zinder Split and Okan.
And yeah, Zindersplint was whenever you win a coin. Oh, he's past the turn, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a pass. Yeah, the Zinder Split is win a flip, draw a card.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We got Ilvaldi tapping down our mana here. What do we got? Collector Oof. Oof. This is something that we were anticipating. Luckily, it's not doing too much at the table so far. Rebel doesn't really care about this.
No,
Braden just shutting down their Moxen, but presumably, well, they didn't play a land that turn, did they?
Kai's also on a Soul Ring as well, so that's off. So the oof is...
It slows things down for sure.
Tucking people,
it's not devastating, though, which is nice.
It's a little close, and it also ramps Ilvaldi as well. We have to keep in mind that it's going to be kicking
absolutely. Every creature is good for that cradle.
Which is a great...
And this is not going to be a very... I don't think that there's going to be a lot of board wipes at this table. I guess I have all of their deck lists up here. I'm not sure if Kai is perhaps on a Toxic Deluge effect, but I would imagine not.
Yep.
Yeah, no Deluge. I'm not sure that Okun Zinder Split has anything quite like that either. I don't think any like Rolling Earthquake effects. No, so no board wipes. So Ilvaldi really doesn't have to worry about committing things to the board here. That's just the pass from Rebel.
Okay. Oh wow. Because it's a tapped. That's interesting. So no Kadama, no nothing out of that one. Is very interesting.
It's possible she has something like the Venser in hand. Or just any amount of interaction, really. It could just be a bounce spell that she's waiting to pop off on that Rule of Law when Kai goes to cast something.
On the Rule of Law, or possibly on the infinite coin flips thing? Like some sort of...
could also very well be waiting for Braden to go all out with that. Shit. Oh my goodness, the Elish Norn. Holy shit. Does that kill his Ender Split? It does not. That puts it... Alright, that kills the Oof and... Oh goodness, that just wrecks Ilvaldi. Well, I said there's no board wipes, and I very well forgot that both Ilvaldi and Kai are both on Elish Norn, so...
Yeah, immediately. We're rolling it back. Okay.
Because I think he tried to tap with the Soul Ring for it.
Makes sense. Okay, so that's 1, 2. I mean, there should... What's the guy next to... We've got 1 white, 2 white, 3 white. He is on enough... No, it costs 7, not 6.
It costs 7, yeah. Yep. 1 shy.
Yep.
Looking like does not have the land drop. Wow. So, well,
everybody's
knows to watch their shit.
Everybody's clenched now.
Stage is gone, and the Tatiova will live... fortunately, but yeah, that would put Somberwald Sage away, which would be devastating for Rebel.
And would that kill the infinite coin flips thing as well? The
Ifrit is a 2/1, so that also kills the Ifrit.
That'll force Braden to start flipping out, so to speak. Flipping out, I love it.
We love it. We love it.
Elish Norn is a wild threat. Oh, and I love Kai's signifying of the Soul Ring being off by turning it upside down is actually really smart. Love seeing that. The super tap. And looks like we're going to swings. Punchies on...
I wonder who he is going
Rebel.
on here. Rebel, oh, okay.
It's interesting, because
Rebel doesn't want to get rid of either of her creatures, so...
Isn't Tatiova, like, big, though? What is Tatiova?
She's a 3/3.
Oh, okay, so...
Oh, it looks like he got in 2 hits there.
So it would have been Rebel and... possibly Ilvaldi.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah, he can't give up things for that cradle, so it must have been him. And it looks... Oh, getting down the Yisan.
Oh, right. Shit. Love seeing Yisan on the list. I played Yisan for so long, and I love that card. I can only imagine what the verses look like in this, whether it's Toolbox or if it's, like, to a combo.
I believe there's a full-on combo in Kai's deck. I can just take a quick look here and see if we got Curian Ranger, etc. No, actually, it looks like he is just using it to value up the chain.
Yeah, it's just like a just get.
Yeah, there's no untapping things in here.
Okay.
I might very well be missing something, so someone forgive me in the chat if I'm mistaking this, but it looks like it is just a value line.
Value line's good. I love it as a either a value line. I like it as a toolbox specifically, just because you can pull out wild stuff in response to people's plays.
There's very good things that he's gotten here.
Yep. Using it as a toolbox can also be really devastating, though, if you are also using it as a combo line. Because you're like, oh, got to get out I don't know, some creature that punches things or whatever. I can never remember. There's a 5-mana fighting creature or something. I'm sure it's not in here, but like when you're using...
You're talking about the 6-mana Kogla?
Or even a Kogla, yeah. If you're getting a Kogla instead of your other awesome 6-mana piece, like, it can be really painful. Or, getting a Rex Age instead of another, pertinent 3-drop that's really good.
Yeah. So, it looks like we may be in the effort of shipping off to Braden here. Looks like they may be considering whether or not they want to flip this a free.
Oh, and Yisan in a 3-color deck is wild too, because Yisan, wildly enough, is not limited to green creatures. So you can get really nasty with it as a toolbox card.
There are lots of good cards in Kai's deck. Things like the 6-mana Archon. What the hell is that called? Archon of Valor's Reach.
Yep.
The Alishnorn, obviously. Corpse Knight, Collector Oof, Eidolon of Rhetoric. There's a lot of really good things that Kai can just be instant speed searching up.
Yeah. Yeah, and on white, yeah, you can get a lot of nasty stacks pieces in response as a toolbox card. Especially in like the 2 and 3 range.
One really good thing I like in this deck is Leonin Relic Warder, an uncommon from Mirrodin Besieged. Enters the battlefield and exiles target artifact or enchantment. Just a nice little quick Underworld Breach Hoser.
Yep, and that's a 2-drop also, so yeah, that's a nasty verse too. Oh, and it exiles it. Wow. Okay. So you can still breach stuff in response, but it's really hard to like pull something out of the graveyard to stop an ETB effect with Underworld Breach. It's
a fine thing to do if someone has just like sacrificed their LED, you know?
And just be like, how about explode that?
Yeah.
And you can't be like counterspell because it's like activated, all that ETB. Are we still on Beowulf? Yeah. So I'm seeing the yellow box around Beowulf, so I would assume that means it's your turn. I don't know if they're fully using
they're using the active player function, yeah.
Look
nice,
at that.
Good
we
on
got
them.
pros, and this is a very.
I can't believe it.
It took us about 4 turns to clock that.
Never in all my years. Maybe they're not though, because it looks like Braden is doing something very wild.
And is Braden's thing gone?
Yeah, so it looks like Braden was activating there. So we are still in Kai's turn, and Braden has activated very many times.
But
I'm not sure.
So if you activate it a bunch of times, you need to win the coin flip in order to draw, right?
Correct.
So is Braden just like fast playing it to draw 30 cards, it looks like? Or how does that work exactly?
He won 43 of his 100 flips. Callahan, we got in the chat here, says resolving a freed at the moment. Won 43 of his 100 flips. Not sure how they were determining the wins of the flips.
Oh, so it could have been like a random chance thing that Braden has pulled up. I think Braden's smart enough to find that sort of thing, like a
very certain,
flip,
yes.
Like just some sort of program that flips a coin 100 times and he draws that many, which would be really intelligent, honestly. And that is a...
pulled up random.org,
yep.
Says Callahan in the chat. Thank you.
That's a really smart way to do it. And that must have been in response to somebody exploding it. Because it's not on the board anymore, right?
Well, if he loses any flips, it goes to the graveyard.
Oh, okay, I see. So
if he lost the first time he loses, it goes to the graveyard, I believe.
Let's What was it again? The name of the Ifrit?
Frenetic.
If it's in your favor, it phases out. Otherwise, bury it. So you just stack them, and it works out just fine.
Well, whichever one happens first is the thing that ultimately happens to the Ifrit. It either phases out or gets buried.
Okay. And I'm not seeing... I can't quite see it in the graveyard. We've played... Has Braden played anything else off of these 40-something cards?
I'm not sure what he's on yet. It looks like he's maybe just moving to discard. He just put, I think, a Cyclonic Rift directly into his yard. No, he's casting it, and Rebel has got the Venser on Cyclonic. I'm not sure what the Cyclonic is targeting.
Maybe Tatyova?
Possibly.
I mean, Braden's a very sharp player. I know when I end up with 43 cards in my hand, I go into suspend, basically, and spend...
Oh, I'm sure he was trying to Cyclonic the Rule of Law, of course.
Oh, okay. And Rebel stopped that because Rebel wants the Rule of Law out.
Yeah, she certainly doesn't want Braden to have free reign with 43 additional cards in his hand. So yeah, it looks like Braden is now moving to discard here.
Mm-hmm, and I'm seeing some... what's up, Lenny? Good to see you in the chat. Love seeing you show up. I'm seeing a lot of wild stuff get discarded. Just
I think
getting
that was a
hints of
possibility storm I saw.
it.
Got a Braid in there.
I saw a Wheel of Misfortune, possibly a Felwar Stone. You know, a lot of good utility pieces going in the garbage.
Rite of Flame, Volcanic, and Ancient Tomb I saw. Lion's Eye Diamond, Teferi, Master of Time.
Oh, what's up? We got, I don't know, 827 in there. Thank you so much for pulling up, buddy. We got the Thanos himself in the chat.
Braden, very close to his Sculpted 7 here.
Yep. It's
discarding the Quark. So one of the things that Braden added to his deck was Quark the Thumbless, which I thought was a very good addition to this deck. Already on Quark's Thumb anyway. So very easy to just slot in that Quark and get some extra coin flips going on.
Yep. Oh, and so there's no oof. I'm seeing Squirrel Mob says oof got snapbacked on Kai's end step. So there's no more oof on the board as well, which is really interesting.
Beautiful. That explains how Braden was able to tap their Chrome Box.
All right, so we got the hot 7 here, and we're still in Braden's turn. I presumably cleanup step.
Yeah.
Does he have some sort of like wild nasty cleanup step win?
No, I don't think so.
Some sort of nightmare.
No, they would have had to have done something before we got into the actual cleanup step of discarding the cards here.
Those are the worst. Looks like he's going through the final few. Oh, we got Code Elbow.
Yeah, we will see what Charles has. So once again, I am infinitely curious as to what Charles has in his hand and what he is going to play.
Yep, some sort of wild stuff, because everybody else is starting to build up good engines, good board states, and Rebel's got...
Everyone has some very impressive things on board.
Rebel's got Venser chilling out there now.
Very good play, I think, on her part. Definitely not going for the greedy Kotama here with that Ifrit on board. Mm-hmm. Just much too dangerous for Braden to do exactly what he did.
Yep. Yeah, it was exact. And I think you said like she's probably got like a Venser or something like that in hand.
Yeah, with that mana that she was leaving up, it smelled like the Venser.
Oh, we've got Ilvaldi picking up cards. Braden is sculpting. Braden's doing something.
Braden is always doing something, that is for sure. I'm very interested to see Braden in this position at the table with this kind of a deck, just knowing how really cunning of a player that he is, I know that he'll be able to make some very impressive plays even at this more disadvantaged spot at the table.
With the sculpted hand and all that.
Just in general, just knowing him as a player, I know that he will be very calculated in how he's approaching this match, just going forth behind these 2 stacks decks. So I'm not expecting any risky plays, I think, from any of these players, honestly. All of these players are very calculated players. They're all very, I wouldn't call them like slow roll players, but they are, I think, perhaps more reactionary players by nature. Don't like to be the first ones to be going for the big thing. Mm-hmm. And it's I think a little bit evident as to how this game is playing out, except for Kai trying to slam that Elish Norn without the mana for it.
There's also Braden is exceedingly adept at talking his way through situations as well. His politic game is usually dialed way up, and I've fallen victim to it many times.
All right, here we got Ilvaldi on the Yavimaya coast. That's a good find there.
Okay.
That was a snap play off the top as soon as that card came off the library.
That was the draw, was the Yavimaya Coast?
It must have been. I don't think there's any way he was holding that back and missing the land drops.
Braden is gesticulating with something.
Looked like in a braid, perhaps. I thought I saw a braid go to the yard, but...
There was some restructuring of the yard for sure. Okay, I've got Druid in the chat saying that Braden chose Zindersplint specifically because if he gets stacked out, he can move to punches, which makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Perhaps that was before we started broadcasting. Is that I really like the decks that Rebell and Braden both have against these heavy stacks decks, because they can both work their magic underneath the stacks pieces for sure. They both have the ability to just get their engines on board and do a lot without casting a spell.
Yep, absolutely. And I was looking through the lists and just like my head was spinning with the amount of stacks pieces in there. Like I'm used to running a few stacks pieces, but the amount that both of these had were just like mind-numbing.
I on 33 creatures. I believe Charles is on 35. Many of them stacks pieces. Charles has got a Hokori Dust Drinker somewhere in that deck. I hope that doesn't come out.
Oh man, the fake Winter Orb is Hokori just stays drinking it up.
Really? I was telling you before we started that I've played a few games with Charles, and he's a really, really great player. Known for his stacks decks, the mono white guy. I'm very excited to see him playing this deck and see where it's going to go. And looks like Braden might be doing a little bit of that politicking right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Second Seven, thank you so much for the cheers. We got a cheers from Second Seven saying their money's on Braden, which is a beautiful way to throw some bits out there. Thank you so much. I think I'll have to look into getting Nightbot or whoever it is to help me start making wagers for people when we do this, because I think that'd be a really fun thing to throw in here as well.
So we got Charles getting the Collector Oof back out there, passing it to Rebell. Rebell is untapped, playing Ancient Tomb, drawing a card off Tatiova.
Yep.
I believe that she is forgetting to gain her life back. I could be incorrect about that.
I think she took 3 off of the Oppo swing earlier, so going up to 38 makes sense, I think.
Okay.
Unless I missed some sort of fetching or something like that, but I don't think so. Oh, and we've got Druid cheering as well on Kadama. Thank you. There are multiple Kadamas out here, so either one. I appreciate the cheers.
It's really, I think, it's like impossible for me to choose which one of these decks I really want to see win, because they're all really interesting. I think all the players are really great. Like, this is a really fun matchup. I'm really glad that this was our first broadcast, because this is a very interesting match.
Yep, these are all supremely good players. Everybody in the league is, though. Like, I wouldn't expect anybody to come in here and be playing any sort of bad game.
I don't know. Did you see Ken play yesterday? It was terrible. He's toxic. I'm just kidding. I love you, bud.
I saw him being pretty pretty sad about some sort of misplay, but like,
Oh, his plays yesterday were beautiful, though. I couldn't be any prouder of Ken the way that he played that. He had his line that he could have, he could have done in hindsight, but he played his game very well, and it just came to a very unfortunate sad nose.
a sad nose.
Ooh, his first hit was peer into the abyss. It was very sad.
Well, you know what that counts.
He was getting the shit beaten out of him with a Sarah Ascendant. It was a bad time.
Definitely got to throw up the sad nose emote then.
Big time.
All right, so Braden is still gesticulating. Big up, Stark.
Rebel with 4 cards in hand here.
Yep, looks like it. 4 cards. We got 3 mana for creatures, 5 mana on the ground.
Looking like she's still pretty unwilling to throw the Kodama out there. No true reason to at the moment with the Tatiova engine out. Like, she's accruing that bit of value. Definitely have to be wary of Kai on the impending Elish Norn.
Yeah, and that's probably why we're not seeing a ton of action from people. Is that they are waiting on that Elish Norn to hit for sure? Because I know, like, I'm always tempted to overextend and slam down all my creatures, even in the face of something like that. But if that Elish Norn hits, it's going to be beat down city. Like, it's going to
absolutely, yeah.
It's going to start turning into the punch zone.
Like, unfortunately, Charles is forced into playing his Collector Roof in hopes that that just puts Kai off of it long enough. And also maybe just hoping that Rebel is not going to play Kodama here in favor of holding up some interaction. But it looks like she's thinking pretty hard about casting something. And I would assume it's probably Kodama.
Some sort of creature, for sure, the way she's picking up that Somberwald Sage. Love Somberwald Sage as a piece of ramp too, especially in a deck like this.
It's like a second Grim Monolith in this deck. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Where you want to speed out Kodama of all things too. We got a bunch of people in here watching, about 40 people plus.
Wow, hi, hello everybody.
Thank you guys so much for pulling up. It's absolutely beautiful. Rebel. I don't think Rebel's making infinite mana. But we're seeing a tap of it. No? Nice, you got me.
Solid joke. I was also wondering, I was like, there's all sorts of things I don't know about Magic, so maybe she, I don't know the deserted temple line, so.
Yep, just tapped and untapped the Somberwald Sage 4 times, so we're going to play a lot of creatures right now. A whole shitload of them.
Everyone just let her do it, too. It's interesting. Interesting move on the MLC's part. You'd think there'd be no cheating allowed, but...
No, they've adopted the moderately anonymous school of playing
I like it. I applaud them.
Mm-hmm. No, I think accusing anybody of big cheats is far from where we want to be at right now. These guys are playing at the highest level. I think they said it's truly competitive rules enforcement, which is something beautiful to see. I know when I'm under that sort of restrictions and stipulations, I play worse. So, so I'm really...
It definitely puts that extra weight on your back when you're playing. It's just like, all right, keep this hand on screen and do everything by the books.
I get really, really nervous about that, which is why it's so amazing to see these people just jump right into it and play immaculately.
Is this going to be the Kodama from Rebel, it looks like? Yep.
That's a lot of mana.
All right, that's a big tree. That's a Kodama of the East tree.
All right, and are we going to see a land drop to match it? No, because was the Ancient Tomb this turn? It was last turn, wasn't it?
I believe the Ancient Tomb was this turn.
And Rule of Law isn't just non-creatures. Rule of Law is everything, right? Just one spell and that's it?
That is correct.
Okay, so it'll either be a land drop or pass.
Yeah, I believe she's made the land drop, so I don't think that she can do anything else here.
And there's still a forest, and what's the other land that's up?
That's a breeding pool from Dissension, the first one, I believe.
So some blue mana up is like at least semi-interactive, so that's good to see.
Don't think it's going to be an Essence Scatter for this Elish Norn, but we will see what happens. Kai's still got to make that land drop. Oh, he's got the land drop, though. That is a nice foily Arid Mesa. So let's see if we windmill slam this Elish Norn. It seems pretty devastating on this board, so...
Rebel does have the 2 mana up, so some sort of interaction could be there to stop it. I'd be really surprised. We've got
I
the
don't know quite what it would be.
Temple Garden, so we're going deeper into white. Makes sense for the Elishnorn for sure. Oh, a delay? It could be a delay.
It could be a delay.
That would hurt really bad.
I'm not sure that she's on delay, though. She's not. Her hard counters are very few. She's got Mana Drain, Force of Will, and Pact of Negation are the only things in her deck that could actually counter a creature spell besides Fencer, which is on the board already. Yeah, I'll be quite interested to see where we go from here. No, I think unfortunately no Disdainful Stroke.
I saw that too.
It'd be a good one though. Everyone would lose their minds. Good tech for this matchup, honestly.
Yep. Counter target spell with a mana value 4 or greater. Yep. It makes sense in a lot of these a lot of these cards.
Counters an ad nauseum. Just saying.
Definitely does.
Counters Force of Will too.
Gross. It's gonna happen. Wow. That's funny.
Look, we got Kai doing the big thing, going to combat.
Oh, punches. Okay. Probably coming at Ilvaldi would be my guess.
Throwing that Oppo out there, not really caring about it.
Oppo, my guess would be the Oppo at Braden and the other one at Ilvaldi, and Timna at Ilvaldi.
Well, I think no point in throwing the Oppo at Braden because Intersplit is a 1/4, so.
Oh, okay. So, well, it's definitely neither of them are going at Rebel for sure. Not.
No, yeah, it must be just two at Ilvaldi to make sure that he won't block and that Kai can get 1 damage in there.
Yeah, just for the 1 draw.
Because it's quite possible that he might block with the Collector Oof, I guess.
Yep.
If he really needed the opposition agent off board. Not terribly enticing with the Phyrexian Goddess coming down if Collector Oof goes away, but...
Which is also interesting to not... So if we're going to punches, I mean, to not play the Elishnorn first and then go to punches for the bigger chance of getting in there. So that's also a choice.
It doesn't end up changing the math, though, really, right? Because it doesn't move enough blockers off of Rebel or Braden's board to be able to hit them and get more cards, so... It doesn't make a huge difference to just swing both at Charles here and possibly lose one of these less important creatures.
Yeah.
Of course, he could be punching somebody else, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody's life drop yet. I think? I don't know.
Oh, looks like we got Ilvaldi going to 27 here, so taking the hit off of the opposition agent.
Don't know where Timna's going. We've got 2 cards drawn. Timna maybe went to Rebel?
I think so, yeah. She took it, which is interesting. Well, I don't know. Oh. Draenith Magistrate, very nice.
That's a harsh one. Gorgeous.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Rebel and for Braden, actually. That really is that is a very nice hate piece against these decks that can more effectively move around that rule of law.
Yep, that's a
gets Charles out of the Derevi too, so that's a very, very strong play here. We got Braden showing the Abrade, I think. See where it's going. Looks like it's perhaps going at that Yisan. And we got Kai activating for verse 1.
Okay. I'm
I'd also be going at the Draenith.
That makes sense too. I'm super biased. I love seeing a Yisan activation.
It's very nice here for Kai where none of his opponents are on block and he does not need to worry about the Sylvan Safekeeper. Very, very nice 1-drop to be hitting there. So looking like he's probably going to save whatever is being targeted here.
Yep. So I'd be guessing that it's probably aimed at the Dranith. Yep.
Yeah, it is the Dranith there. So sacrificing the snow-covered plains, I believe, and saving the Dranith.
So that's just what I was talking about. That toolbox Eson in verse 1, Sylvan Safekeeper is disgusting, and now Kai is back off of Elshnorn mana, but has protection
Correct.
for 1, 2, 3, 4 different creatures, which is crazy. And I think Safekeeper says, let's see,
Gives it Shroud.
but it's target creature you control gains Shroud. Okay, so
Yes.
you can protect your own board, which is beautiful.
Also means that Deflecting Swat only has like limited uses.
Yep. Kai will not be protecting other people's pieces. I wish you could do really fuck around stuff like that, but unfortunately, it's not quite that crazy.
All right, so we got Braden untapping and going to first main. Looks like
With the gas hand, keep in mind, 1 card
ooh,
per turn.
Gitaxian Probe. All right,
All right, but that's the 1 spell per turn is Gix Probe.
it looks like it. Yeah, let's go into the graveyard. So I'm not sure whose hand he looked at there. Looks like we got Kai revealing here. All right, so that's Birds of Paradise, Mana Confluence, Noxious Revival. That's interesting.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Misty, plenty of lands. All right, so he's not going to be put off of this Elishnorn
And there's
the
Elshnorn,
Elish.
Yep. Okay, that's interesting.
That is quite the hand. Very good for him on this board state.
Decent. Not at the only real interaction is going to be that. This is going to be the Noxious Revival. Oh, what's up, Cyrus? Good to see you.
We've got Braden on. It looks like not a whole lot of ways to cleanly answer the Elishnorn, though. It looks like Mana Drain is his only... Mana Drain and Force of Will, the only hard counters that he's got for a creature. Does have quite a few bounce spells, though, like even going as far as playing that Snapback that we already saw. So lots of interaction for creatures, at least. I'm not sure that getting Elishnorn off board would be priority number 1 for him, though. Probably that Dranith Magistrate is much trickier. But through Sylvan Safekeeper, it's going to be really difficult to effectively do something.
Absolutely. I am still just really excited to see that Elishnorn hit because it's going to change things a fair amount. But yeah.
Oh, it looks like we've got Braden already passing to Ilvaldi here. Got Windswept Heath down.
Interesting.
Tapping the Gaia's Cradle for 2.
Oh,
Taking any damage to Mana Confluence and tapping Yavimaya. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're good. So it's
Well, attempting the Derevi, but the Dranith is on board, so hopefully somebody catches that. Oh no, I'm sorry. Using Derevi's ability to get around the Dranith Magistrate.
there. You go. Cool. And that'll untap. Is that
I assume the Gaia's Cradle.
floating 2 off the cradle? Ooh,
And then, playing the Null Rod. Very
double
nice.
down.
All right.
Those artifacts are got sent
And
to
Derevi will get around the Elishnorn too, or it will at least live, but it won't be able to deal combat damage, so that'll make it tricky to start untapping things with it. You can, of course, still blink it.
It needs to deal damage to do stuff.
It needs to be able to deal damage or enter the battlefield, so...
Okay.
If he gets the Emil, he can start generating a lot of mana with that Gaia's Cradle.
Mm-hmm.
They can seal the deal on making infinite mana, but we'll see.
Well, you only get 1 target off of Derevi when it ETBs, right? Or do you get...
Yeah, so the thing is that if he can make enough mana off of the Gaia's Cradle, he'll be able to keep paying for Emil's trigger and keep blinking the Derevi with extra mana to spare, and then once he's made a sufficient amount of green, he can move on to untapping like the Mana Confluence or something to make other colors of mana.
Oh, because it blinks, you don't need to cast it again. I see.
Yes, exactly. We've got Rebel untapping here. Not able to play Hirsaka. Are we moving to beats with the tree here? It looks like it. Yeah, tree beats action. All right.
And that thing's not small, right? Is it a 6/6?
It is a 6/6. Yeah, that is a large boy. I don't know where she would send it in particular, though. Is she gonna send it at Kai?
I would say either Kai or Braden.
Unless this is, I don't know. She's tapping the. This is maybe a Court of Calling.
Oh, interesting.
She might be convoking. I'm not sure what that is. AC?
Yeah, I think so. So that's double. Why?
That is an exploration, and land enters the battlefield. You may draw a card. Maybe we went through a quick combat. We got Secure in the chat is correct that if Charles does land the Emil, they do have to wait an entire turn cycle to be able to win through the rule of law. So
Yep.
definitely got to be wary of that. AC Tyrant of Geyer Street.
So yeah, additional land drop, which is massive right now, and it does extra Tatyova stuff. So that's big value on land drops.
Absolutely.
We could see Rebel playing a lot of lands possibly.
Well, she actually passed the turn here. Now we're on Kai, who drew, and they're playing a Bloodstained Mire, so that means that was the draw off the top, I believe.
Yep. Because we didn't see that before, which is an interesting choice, unless it's specifically because Kai needs some sort of lands from it. Specifically,
Its other options were Misty and Mana Confluence. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If there's any specific reasoning for going for the Bloodstained Mire here.
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard to remember to do that sort of play, to like play the thing that somebody has seen, especially in an intense board state like this, for sure.
Going for the basic swamp, interesting. Well, if he's going for the basic swamp, that's definitely a big reason to play the Bloodstain. And also, that's another thing, is that you just truly never know what Kai is thinking about in the scenario. So I would never just assume that he's making an incorrect play. I'd always
for sure not.
assume that there must be, something he must be going for here. Snow-covered swamp is definitely something that he was going for specifically. Not sure why. We'll see what he might be coming with here.
Because Safekeeper is sacrifice any land, correct? Sacrifice.
That is,
land,
that's correct.
Yep.
Any land. Interested to see what Kai's going to go for here. He doesn't have any spells that we don't know about in his hand anymore, which I think is just Birds of Paradise. Can't recall what else was in the hand. So I feel like Elishnorn is the most interesting thing he can really be going for here. I'm not sure if he's going to try to maybe play Kodama first, but doesn't really provide any additional value at the moment. Well, it looks like we're going for the Birds of Paradise.
6 mana and leave it open for the Isan activation. So keeping up Toolbox Isan is very clutch. And we're off to...
looks like we got the pass to Braden.
Yep.
And we're going straight to combat. We're flipping for Zender Split. Looks like we lost our first flip. That's unfortunate. Braden won their first 5 flips on that first combat, and I don't think they've won a flip on the combat step yet. But moving straight to second main, looks like. And we've got 2 for Phantom Image. All right. That's very interesting.
Love seeing.
Rebel's got some very good targets on board. Man, there's a lot of very good targets on board for this. Well, it looks like we might be taking that a step back.
Yep, we've dropped a land instead.
Prismatic Vista.
Yeah, we got a solid amount of people watching, guys. Thank you so much for pulling up, watching
Wow.
us speculate on this. Just a pass?
Yeah, reels it back to the Prismatic Vista and passes. Very interesting. Braden is playing it very calculated. The last couple turns have just been flip for Zender Split and pass. Got the Sculpted 7, so interested to see what else is in there. Just, I guess, biding the time on that Rule of Law bounce.
I wonder what it could be. That's going to be a hell of a hand, too. All right, tapping the Confluence and the Cradle. We're up to 4.
Yeah, we got big mana on that Cradle now, which is good.
That's Emil mana, isn't it?
No, needs double white for Emil, I believe.
That's Archon.
That is an Archon of Emiria, though.
Big stuff.
That is a backbreaker. Also going to get around the Elishnorn. Well, that's going to lock it down real hard against Braden right now. Unless he's perhaps got the counter, but it doesn't look like he does.
Each player can't cast more than 1 spells, and non-basics come in tapped as well, which is savage.
For opponents, not for Ilvaldi. Ilvaldi going to combat, swinging with a Derevi. And it looks like Braden is taking the damage down to 29.
Let's see what the untap trigger is.
I imagine it's going to be on that Cradle, but maybe something spicier coming down. do have access to the forest for Arbor Elf with that Windswept Heath now, which is nice. And we got untap on the mana confluence. Needs that mana for something. Let's see. Let's see what's better than green mana.
Than 4 green mana.
Honestly, like when you're in the multicolored decks, there's a lot of there's a lot of blue things that are better than 4
for
green
sure.
mana.
There's a lot.
I've been there many times. I'm used to playing these sorts of lines on TNT and spreading out even thinner in 4 colors, but I can understand even in 3 colors that's the exchange you want to make a lot of time. Looks like he might just be holding up the hard counter for something.
Yep. For probably I would assume that Elishnorn.
Yes. Yeah. Ilvaldi certainly does not want the Elishnorn to be coming down here.
I think like everybody except maybe Rebell is really.
Oh wow, no hard counters in the entire deck though. No Force of Will, no Mana Drain. The only counters that Ilvaldi is running is Mental Misstep, Swan Song, and Fierce Guardianship, and Veil of Summer, so the interaction package is pretty light.
Minimal, huh?
Yeah, only 12 instants, and it's just mostly devoted to the stacks plan here with the 35 creatures and 9 artifacts that are all stack spaces, and like I said before, not even a Mana Crypt in this deck.
No.
All right, we got Rebell untapping here.
Yep. Looking forward to seeing what comes out right now, whether it's going to be some Kodama activations.
She's on double draws for land drops now, which is amazing. So she's got access to a possible 4 draws on this turn.
Well, no more, because you could do double land drops and then activate Kodama.
Oh, yeah, activating Kodama. Yeah, so she's got up to
She could draw 8. Could you imagine?
8 possible draws on this turn. Let's see it. I mean, that means she's chaining a lot of lands in these draws, or has at least 4. But...
I think she's only got four cards in hand. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
5 cards in hand. I would be astounded if it was 4 lands.
Honestly, I think that she might not have any at this stage.
Yep.
We'll see.
Otherwise, they would have hit.
Just thinking about maybe cracking that Prismatic Vista or doing something in Rebel's upkeep. Well, it looks like she's good to go. So like I said, Braden does have a lot of creature bounces here, so it could be quite advantageous for him to be bouncing one of these 6 drops in response to a landfall activation or landfall trigger. That's the Infinite token out. Do we know what that's representing?
No, I mean...
Got something written on it.
It looks like it was some sort of land, because there's draws happening.
Okay, these look like Kodama trigger reminders, whether or not she's got one left. Okay, so we've got Kodama landfall trigger now drawing off of the Tatiova, and now drawing off of the AC.
And somebody was saying you can stack the draws to happen before Kodama to go for more lands to put in with the Kodama trigger. So you can do some pretty heavy stuff there.
All right, looks like we're activating Somberwald Sage here.
All right, so that's 3, 4.
That's the Tireless tracker. Very nice.
All right, so that's that spits out clues on landfall.
Yeah, actually, so yeah, she won't be able to sacrifice her clues to be able to draw cards. So it does get... I think it only actually grows when you draw crack clues, too.
So that's the spell per turn, and that's a Kodama trigger. So we're getting a 3 or less drop. And let's see what happens.
Looks like she put another land into play, drawing off of Tatiova now.
Okay.
And drawing off of AC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was Castle Garenbrig, which is one of her swaps in this deck. I thought that was a very smart call to add Castle Garenbrig to the land base. And that is another landfall into play. It looks like Bountiful... sorry, not Bountiful Promenade. The green-blue Battle Bond land Rejuvenating Springs.
She's very so Druid is saying with another bounce land you can get the infinite landfall triggers right now. So that could be it. This could just be a dig for that.
We got 2 clues coming into play.
This is wild value happening right now.
Absolutely. She's cast one spell, has drawn... I think we're just about at our 8 draws here. And it doesn't honestly look like she's stopping yet. We got Kodama trigger coming off the stack. She's putting another land into play. She's going to trigger Tatiova again. It looks like at this point she is definitely missing her life triggers. Oh no, she just gained. Alright, no, she's got it.
Oh, and when the clues come in, that's more triggers. I see.
Yes.
So the clue lets you drop another land. So you put in a land from your hand, I guess, or from the Kodama trigger.
Yeah. Put a land into play, that triggers Kodama, and also puts a clue onto the battlefield, which triggers Kodama. That's very interesting. Very interesting line.
So this is... Let's see if this keeps happening at this point.
She's cast her spell already, though, so...
And the spell was the tracker. There's 3...
She's got to dig to the Sunscorched Desert pretty much. But if she hits that wall of non-lands, I think that she ends the train. And no interaction happening from the table, which is interesting. We know what's in Kai's hand at this point, I believe.
Yep, but...
but Braden has a lot of mana open, didn't have any responses to any of this.
Nope. I mean, it would have to be something wild, though. Like a really, really crazy spell would have to hit.
Even just a Winds of Rebuke, though, would be quite helpful.
Yeah, I think that would definitely do a lot.
I think just like in response to the first landfall trigger, you would Winds of Rebuke the Kodama, perhaps, if he had it. I'm not quite sure if that would be the ultimate correct line, but it seems to be indicating that Braden might not have... the right kind of interaction for this.
Yeah, I wouldn't... I mean, I don't... you said that Braden is running a lot of...
Yeah, he's got quite a few bounce spells. Snap, Snap Back, Winds of Rebuke, Chain of Vapor. I think that might be it for bounce spells. He does also have a fair amount of sorceries in this deck, though. There are 17 sorceries, and a lot of them are quite beefy. There's like Time Spiral, Knowledge Exploitation, Seagate, Restoration.
Whoa.
So,
Beowulf, Kai just got out...
Grand Abolisher on the 2. Oh boy, here we go.
So that's going to be... There's going to be something fucking crazy happening.
We are about to see some shit. We're definitely about to... Well, no, maybe this is protection for the Elesh Norn, but maybe this is the win here. We'll see. That's definitely a move. Untap and draw. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking that Kai went for the snow-covered swamp there because that must be his last swamp in the deck, and he wants to get that out before his Bloodstained Mire is dead.
Okay, yep. If there's just no more black sources, we're tapping...
Yeah, because he's already got the Bayou Scrubland and the Godless Shrine out. He might also have Overgrown Tomb. There's the Elesh Norn. Yeah, that's coming down. Not going to get countered by anybody.
That's going to be crazy beats.
This is very, very large punches. Rebel now got a, I think AC's a 5-5. So yeah, AC down to a 3-3. Tatiova down to a 1-1. Jace and the Tracker are just dead. Charles now down to 2-0-1s. Oh, it looks like we got Braden perhaps responding here. Oh no, he can't though because of the Grand Abolisher. So
that's gonna kill a lot of bros.
Yep, that's killing five creatures right now. That is quite the 7-mana board wipe.
It gives Kai a massive amount of punches.
It's gigantic. Yeah, Charles is going to have something very good in his hand to be able to really come back from this. I mean, kind of the same is true for Braden right now.
Rebel's in a decent spot. What's that land on the top that Rebel has there?
That is Deserted Temple, so it taps for a colorless, and she can pay a colorless to untap another land.
Okay.
Pay a colorless and tap it. She drew a lot of cards, so I believe that she must have something pretty good in her hand, but yeah, it's going to be tough without Somberwald. She has a lot more mana now, though. But losing the Tireless Tracker is a really big blow. Because that was basically her Sakashima, so she's going to have to come up with something else now.
Elesh Norn really sets this table up for wild shit, though. And are we moving to punches
It's beautiful
now?
here. Charles notably also on the Elesh Norn, so if we see the double Elishnorn come out here and just set both Elishnorn players to even and nuke out
And just shit
Rebel
on everybody
and
else.
Braden to -4/-4, there's going to be very few things they're going to be able to keep on board.
Yep, the double Elishnorn could be wild, but are we on mana for it though?
Not quite yet. No,
No.
only on 5 as of the moment. So he's at least a couple turns away from it.
Moving to punchies with
Got Oppo going out. We got Timna going out. Or are we sending the Grand Abolisher too? All right. Yeah, no fears.
The Grand Abolisher is what, a 4/4 right now?
It is a beefy boy, yeah.
He's
I think,
punching.
yeah, Rebel would have to sacrifice her entire board, I think, to block it. Just about.
So those two, looks like some of them are going at Braden. And I'm not seeing...
Yeah, we got Rebel taking
just
some.
went sit down by 8. So Rebel just ate a whole bunch as well. Nothing...
Yeah, she just took the Timna and
the Abolisher.
the Grand Abolisher, I think.
And the
Oppo at Braden, I
Oppo
think.
Braden. Nothing at Charles. Interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Well, I don't want Charles to think about giving up that Archon, I think, from Kai's perspective. Just don't even give him the opportunity. Not that I really think Charles would want to.
Yep.
But yeah, I think just don't even give Charles the option to get his Archon off board and make it easier for Braden or Rebel to do something. Because Kai's got a pretty mean lock on the board right now. It's going to be very, very difficult for someone to overtake him.
Yep. It's big punchies out there for sure. And they're going to keep... The hits are going to keep coming. And
Yeah, it does not get better from here.
A little bit of draw engine for sure also is nice with Timna.
Absolutely.
Timna and well, I guess we're not going to see a Yisan activation on
Not
end
on this
step,
turn.
unfortunately. We've got Braden moving straight to the roll. It looks like.
Yeah, whatever he's got in his hand, he does not like it. It's not working out for him. He's just really hoping to get those draws going.
2 mana.
And we've got the Phantom Image here.
Yep. Is it going to hit it Elshnorn?
I think it might. Yeah. I think they're probably... I don't know. What else could you even name now, I think?
Yeah, I don't know what it would be unless...
Taking Kai down to back to like 0-1s and 1-1s is going to be a big hit on him. Really slow him down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's the double Elishnorn. And there it goes, but oh my goodness.
Oof.
There it goes. That is brutal.
That hurts.
So now we got Kodama at a 2-2 and AC at a 1-1. Oh boy. This is rough. This is very rough. Derevi no longer able to enter the battlefield. We're back to Gaia's coaster status for Charles. This is very bad.
Yeah, we've got somebody Squidward just creatures are banned at this point.
Yes. Yes.
Creatures are
They gotta be
They gotta be
big casual status.
Kongala's coming out for sure. Otherwise no one's really landing.
So the thing is, though, that Rebel does actually have a lot of good things that she can still play underneath this. Like, still has one of her swaps was Regal Behemoth.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, the 6/6 or the 6 mana 5/5 that makes you the Monarch, and if you are the Monarch, doubles your land mana. So it'll be a 1/1, but that doubles her mana, which is like that's nothing to shake your head at.
Oh,
we got
root maze.
Root maze. Oh my
Yes.
lord! This game is going to time for sure.
Root maze just taking a shit on the board. Well done.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
I don't know how much it really like. Oh, I guess that. Oh, a counter. Oh, that's the Fierce Guardianship on Root Maze out of Rebel. Holy shit, that's crazy.
Well, this is her access point here with the Archon off board, and she can get lands into play untapped. Like, this is her opportunity to like get through the armor of these stacks here and really like make a claim towards actually winning this game.
Oh, and we passed to Rebel. Okay, so this could get nutty.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
We're about to see. Being on just the Kodama and the AC now makes it a lot harder. It's very unfortunate that second Elishnorn came down for Rebel, but she's got an interesting access point to try to do something really fantastic here. Of course, now after I say all that, I'm sure she's just going to be like, well, I'll draw a card and pass.
I'm waiting for all those lands to get tapped right now. Just all of them to go side. Just
Oh, we got Mikokoro coming into play, tapped. Why is he coming into play tapped? Am I missing something?
I don't know.
I think that's a mistake at this point, because we've got no Root Maze and we've got no Archon.
What's the land?
Mikokoro, Center of the Sea. So we've got Kodama trigger off of the Mikokoro, and she's putting Mouth of Ranam into play. Drawing again. Do you maybe want to pop into the other chat and poke Callahan? Let him know that those lands shouldn't be coming into play tapped?
Yeah.
Rebel doing some big things.
Oh,
All right, we got the
there you
lands
go.
on tap.
There
There we
you
go. So Mouth of Ranam, that does, what, 2 damage if she pays 5 mana and then taps that thing?
Is it just to creatures or is it to humies?
Let's look it up. 4 snow tap, sacrifice Mouth. Mouth deals 4 damage to target creature.
Target creature. So that could blow up.
A lot of stuff, and it makes
that
Kai's attacks a lot less advantageous.
That could blow up the Dranith.
Yes. Oh yeah, I wonder if she's going to go for that here. Looks like she's going to draw.
Does she have? She has some snow mana, right? Oh, I think I just saw Kai draw a card.
Oh, I think she activated the Mikokoro.
Huh. And it's
Everyone draws a card.
everywhere.
Notably tapping her Flooded Strand with the Urborg black mana, choosing not to sacrifice it, working around that Oppo Agent.
And that is a great
Ooh, the
henge.
Great Henge. Oh, we love to see it. We love to see it. This is a very, very good play. So this is going to be basically a second AC and turn on a lot of chains for Rebel here.
Because that's card draw on creature.
On creature ETB.
Is it ETB?
Yes.
Non-token creature ETB. Are we putting it back in hand?
It looked like we might be.
Possibly because double Elshnorn makes it really hard to cast.
Yes. It costs about 1 million mana. Yeah, that's a 9 mana spell at this point? 8 mana spell?
So that could be it. It's just like, oh no, it costs 55 more mana or whatever.
Yeah, it's not actually a 3-drop that adds 2. That actually costs a lot of mana. I feel like, unfortunately, Rebel can't do much with this Mouth here because she's kind of being held hostage by the Elishnorn and just, like, keeping up the option that Kai can't really have really great attacks with that Mouth open.
Mouth open.
Nice. We got there.
Can't be playing. Gotta play with your mouth open.
Full on Turkey in the Rain style.
I can't imagine. That's a wild reference. I don't know Turkey in the Rain. Is that?
Oh, it's because when it rains, turkeys stare straight up at the sky and they will literally drown themselves because they're so dumb.
Wow. That's.
Yep, stare straight up at the sky with their mouths open.
Oh, we're tapping 4. And there's the henge.
Yeah, and that's the henge.
So is it?
We got the hang loose from Kai, so it looks like it's good.
How is it costing 4? Is the question.
Oh, that's Cauldron, Storm Cauldron. I think one of those might have been Ancient Tomb, but it looks like she's maybe the top one is definitely Ancient Tomb. So, I believe that she was trying to pay for it with the Castle Garenbrick, but that only casts creature spells. I'm not sure how she paid for that.
Storm Cauldron is a wild card.
That is a win con for this deck, so we may be seeing Rebel going for it here.
Yeah, that's the
She's
balance.
playing her additional Storm Cauldron land and triggering AC.
It could be like a Dryad Arbor, maybe? No, because you can't tap the Dryad Arbor for land mana.
Kodama trigger, she's going to put her land back in the hand with the Storm Cauldron, put it back into play with Kodama. Draw another card. So I believe this is just demonstrating a loop now where she can infinitely drop this land into play with Storm Cauldron and Kodama, if I'm not mistaken. No, this actually might be finite. I think I am mistaken. Putting it back into play, drawing another card. Triggering Kodama. What have we got for time left on this match? Do you know, Alan?
Oh shit, I didn't put up the timer like a total doofus. I don't know if they put up a timer either when they started it. It would be however long the streams. Do you know what the time limit is on these matches?
They're 1 hour and 40 minutes, 100 minutes.
All right, the stream's been going for about an hour and 20 minutes, and they started playing about 2 to 3 minutes after we started streaming. So they've got at least 22 to 25 minutes left in this game.
Oh, that's the Field of the Dead from Rebell here.
Oh. A lot of zombies, but the zombies die on ETB.
Yes. She's pointing at her Great Henge, and I don't know if she thinks that it triggers that, but it does not.
Because
So her one spell this turn was the Great Henge, and then she put the Cauldron in off of the trigger,
Yep.
I take it?
Yep.
So yeah, now operating under no spells that she can cast, but she doesn't need to cast a spell to win the game. All she's got to do is find
Tap mana, bounce it,
the Sun-Scorched Desert, I think.
and tapping and bouncing the mouth of Ranum. So is there a loop right now with Kodama called?
No, not without Sakashima. She needs
Yeah.
Sakashima on board or some sort of Sakashima effect to be able to trigger between them for the Storm Cauldron. If she had the Tireless Tracker, that would also work here, but
Yep.
unfortunately, she's locked under however many land drops she has at the moment, I believe.
the-
Someone in chat can correct me if I'm incorrect.
The Field of the Dead makes zombies, and the zombies let you drop a land.
Yes, of course, of course, of course.
So that's why the Field of the Dead is out there. So that's the loop, correct?
I believe that is the loop now, yeah. Yeah, those two should trigger between each other, between Cauldron triggering Kodama and Field triggering Kodama to be able to put the lands back and forth into play. She just needs to draw into the Sun-Scorched Desert, I believe. We've got Kai casting Vampiric Tutor with some sort of trigger on the stack here. That's interesting.
No, because she can keep doing land drops. So it's really just draw into Sunscorched, as far as I understand, with this loop.
She's showing her hand. She's discarding her hand?
Oh, she passed.
Yeah, Kai's untapping and drawing a card.
So she might have stopped because AC forces the draw. No, AC's a May also. So I'm
Yeah,
not
no, it's Tatiova, that's the forced. Looks like Rebel is trying to convey something.
That could be it. It could be that there's not 7 different lands out there. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm not sure. I feel like
Yeah, it
there
looks like
is.
she's trying to demonstrate that she's got the Field and Kodama thing going on.
So she can do it like on upkeep. No, because she can't.
She need to be able to make a land drop
Yeah,
somehow,
she can't do.
or get some
No,
sort of permanent into
she
play.
can do. She can do the land drops. She's tapping.
I think she's activating her Sunsquirt or her Deserted Temple. I'm not sure what she's doing.
Because if she's got enough lands to make the zombies, yeah, she just needs to find some sort of drop. It's all tapped out now though. Okay, we've got punchies. No, not punchies.
Yeah, I'm not going to combat with that Elishnorn apparently. Just going with the Timna, but I guess it's just a 2/2, so.
And that would be going on almost certain at Ilvaldi.
Yeah, I think no reason not to just go for the secure hit.
Oh, Elsh has vigilance.
Oh, yes, of course.
I don't know how vigilance works, for sure not. So that's.
I think that's a new keyword. I don't remember what it does.
It's one of those new ones. It's probably from the D&D set.
Probably.
Oh, it looks like Braden took a hit also. So I would assume Elsh is going at Braden.
Yeah, it must have been. Looks like Kai just holding it up. Got Mana Confluence is land for turn. Or is Misty land for turn? Cracking the Misty, going to 27.
Sorry
And
about
going
that.
for the Savannah here.
Still Kai. Land drop from Kai.
Yeah, dropped the Misty for turn and went and got Savannah with it.
We know that Kai still has the... What's it called in hand? Noxious Revival.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So Noxious Revival, we've seen Misty hit, we saw Elsinore hit, and they have a couple cards in there still, so it could be, yeah, Drew. So Kai's basically got a full grip at this point of all new stuff, and he tutored as well.
He can't tap his mana very effectively with that Storm Cauldron out, though, so he's got to kind of work around that.
Storm Cauldron is universal. Whenever a land is tapped
Yes.
for mana, return it to owner's hand. Wow. So that hurts the shit out of everybody. Holy crap.
Brilliant hate piece. Yeah, it's really, really good. Especially for Braden, who is very, very limited on his mana right now. He's actually only got his land mana, so Kai's at least got his 3 creature mana to be able to work a little bit around it, but he's got to be very careful with how he's tapping for things. We got 4 lands tapped. What's it going to be for? Oh, Linvala. Linvala not currently doing anything on this board, though. It shuts down anything that Charles might have, but I think Charles is pretty far out of it at this point. I'm not sure what he could really do to come back. Unless he's got his own Phantom Image for his own Elishnorn, and then he can get back in it.
We've got the roll, so Braden going directly to combat.
Yep, we got 1 card drawn.
Okay.
All right, yeah, 1 card drawn, one flip lost. Exotic Orchard is land for turn. Got 1 additional land drop that he can make if he's got the second one. Kai put those 4 lands back in his hand and didn't have to discard. Nobody gonna be complaining of a short grip in this game. Oh, we got Dockside Extortionist. Now that is a play.
Oh, that's big manas.
We still got the Null Rod out, so he's got to do something about that, and he can't cast another spell this turn, so just making a lot of mana at this point that he cannot quite yet use.
Is that a full 6? I think. I'm not sure what the number on. Oh, it's above a D6 though, so it could be.
I think he's at 8.
2.
He's also got his Cauldron triggers, which he has not resolved, but it looks like he's passing here. But yeah, those 2 lands should be in his hand. Can't blame him for not knowing, though. I don't know that I have ever personally played against someone who had a Storm Cauldron in play.
There you go.
There we go.
People, I think they're doing a good job reminding each other, for sure, of these crazy triggers and stuff.
There's a lot of stuff on board, so there's a lot to keep track of.
This is a pretty wild game.
It has been exactly as wild as I thought it would be.
I think we're at about 10 minutes left.
Rebel's very, very close to wrapping it up. Like, she might be able to put this away on her turn.
I think if it goes back to her, she might have it.
I don't know what Charles can realistically do unless he's got, like, I don't even know. Like, even Deafening Silence or something like that doesn't get him out of it.
Well, it could explode the Storm Cauldron, plain and simple.
Yeah, that's true. He must have, oh, no, we got the straight pass. Oh, boy, we got the straight pass to Rebel. Okay. Let's go.
But everybody's got open mana right now, though. So
yes,
there could be some.
He's ready to fuck with Rebel.
There could be some sort of interaction or interruption here, so we'll see what happens.
We'd have to be banking on it, right? Yeah, we got blue players with lots of open mana, lots of cards in hand. We know a few of them are lands.
Yep, and a possible Yisan activation as well.
Yeah, Kai might have some actually pretty interesting things to hit at 3 here. I'll take a look while we're just chatting and watching. Eidolon of Rhetoric comes in at 3. That's not a bad one. Although, again, that doesn't really... I don't know. There's nothing really that Kai can grab at 3 that really gets that really stops what Rebel is trying to do with just landfalls.
No Rexage?
No Rexage. The Leonin at 2 is the only real hard effect like that.
And it looks like Rebel's definitely got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
6,
I'm sorry.
7,
No,
8,
you know
9.
what? He can go and grab the Archon of Emeria. So Archon of Emeria will shut her off here.
Because that means you can't tap the lands?
Yeah, her lands will come untapped, so...
And that's a 3-drop?
That is a 3-drop.
Okay, so maybe she...
But actually, no, that doesn't stop these triggers between Field of the Dead Cauldron and Great Henge, I think.
Great Henge?
Or actually, no, I'm sorry, Great Henge isn't part of it.
Well, Field of the Dead... Well, you have to tap the mana to bounce it back to hand is the problem. So if they're coming into play tapped...
All right, we got Rebel getting ready to do something. This one is really going the mile here. We got Braden thinking about doing something, apparently. Rebel's upkeep, maybe. Don't believe that she's drawn her card yet. Could be the Chain of Vapor.
Oh, Kai just threw a land in the garbage?
Braden also dumped a Soul Ring. Not sure what just happened there. That is the coveted jewel. All right, now this is going to be very, very interesting. It's going to draw her 3 cards on ETB, and she'll be able to tap it for 3 mana. She might be able to loop something with this here to draw through her deck. I believe she's got a Kodama trigger on the stack now, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like Kai's going to activate Yisan, and we'll see if he gets his Archon here.
Should I go in and tell them they're going to time pretty quick?
Callahan will let them know. He's got the timer going.
Is he in there?
I thought he was.
I don't think he is. I'm checking right now. Yeah, he's not in there.
Yeah, well, if you got a timer up.
I mean, we basically started this right at 2, and it's at about 3 minutes, and they started a minute or 2 after, so...
Got roughly 5 minutes then?
Yeah.
We got Kai getting the Archon out here, so... This might be end of the line for Rebel here, who has cast her spell for the turn.
So, Kotama trigger on 6. I'm gonna first draw 3 cards. 1.
Someone hop in.
2.
Yep, that's me. We're going to time pretty quick. I don't know if you guys have been keeping watch. I forgot to put up a timer, which is on me. You guys got about 5 minutes left.
I think this game is about to end.
So, I'll hop back out though. But yeah, I think I don't know what the rules are for going to time or whatever, whether it goes to 140 and then everybody gets around or what. I don't know what Callahan has set up, but yeah, we've got just about 4 minutes left around there.
Well, Braden, from a competitive standpoint, you and I just need to force a draw.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Where are we at right now, Rebel?
Oh, still on the Kodama trigger. I just drew off.
Rebel here going to resolve her Kodama trigger. So it looks like we're going around the table for responses on resolving this Kodama trigger, but it looks like Rebel's good to go. Very contested Kodama trigger on the stack. It's got to be a pretty good one, though, because the Jewel is a 6-drop, so she's got some definite beef that she can be dropping into play here.
Yeah, she drew a ton of cards while I was in there, so...
And I mean, if she's got a way to be bouncing that coveted Jewel, she's going to have a serious stew going. But it looks like Braden not quite sure about how something is operating here, so just taking a quick look.
Yep. It's either wrapping up or going to a draw, is my guess, so I don't know.
Yeah, big time. It's... I don't know. I guess it's possible that Kai could pop the opposing Phantasmal Image and maybe get something done here.
Is that a copy artifact?
That is a copy artifact. Oh, Lord. That is a copy artifact with the non-English text on it from Moxfield. Very funny. Very funny, Rebel. Good. That's a good proxy.
I mean, so I didn't see Callahan in there anywhere as far as... There's 5 people in the game room too, so I don't know really what's going on with that either. So I don't know what the official ruling is for when it goes to time, whether they get a full round after that.
I am also not sure, but I think if it is full tournament rules, that means one go around.
Yep.
So Rebel putting in her snow-covered forest here. I'm not sure if that was a land drop or a Kodama trigger, though. It looks like she still got a Kodama trigger on the stack, actually, so I believe that might have just been land drop return.
And that's a...
Oh, we've got Braden with the mystical. Or actually, that could be the brainstorm art. I can never tell the difference between the Jace brainstorm and
I'm not
mystical.
sure. I was going to guess it. Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I've got game 1 going to time in just another minute or 2. So that's time. Active player is turn 0, and then everybody else gets 1 additional turn.
Well, that was Rebel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still Rebel's turn.
Yep. So Rebel, you're on 0, and everybody else gets 1 more turn after this, and then it's then you call it.
Okay.
Cool.
Rebel.
All right, you know what, Kai, just do your thing.
Wait a minute. Rebel,
So
What?
do you have any way to interact with Kai?
No, I have no way to interact with Kai.
All right, I'm going to jump out. Hey, all right, I'm back. So that's time. Rebel is active player, and then everybody else gets 1 more turn.
All right. Well, I think, unfortunately, Rebel can't do it here.
Oh. That's shitty bum bums for sure. Not to be biased or anything, but I was really rooting for Rebel, obviously.
I've also been trying to not be Rebel biased in our broadcasting here, but we're all unabashedly in the Rebel camp. We know it. Nobody has to deny it.
Big Rebel stands.
The original. That's Prismatic Vista coming into play. It should also be tapped, though, because of the Archon of Emeria. So the Wooded Foothills and that Prismatic Vista should both be tapped at this point, I believe.
The Archon is out.
Yes, the Archon's still in play.
Okay. Should I also tell that?
You might as well, because it looks like they're not catching it. Oh, there we got tapped Prismatic Vista. I'm not sure if she's tapping that for Urborg mana, though.
And is that the Wooded Foothills? No, that's something else.
No, that's a snow covered. So yeah, it doesn't look like she's recognizing the Archon taps.
Very tense right now. It was tense in there as well when I jumped in very briefly.
She can keep looping that basic, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as it's a basic, she can keep looping it. So she should be able to actually take this here.
But then what? Go for the
Sunscorched.
But Sunscorched comes in tapped. So what's the bounce on Sunscorched?
Well, Sunscorched always comes in tapped. She just needs
Okay.
the extra trigger to keep looping it. We got Grand Abolisher going away now.
Yep. What was Rebel's spell per turn?
Rebels spell this turn. I'm not sure that she's cast one yet.
Oh, okay.
Or wait, was it it was the Coveted Jewel?
Right. Yep. And the Kodama trigger off the Coveted Jewel. So that's a pass to Kai, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. Very well played.
Yeah. Exceedingly. I would expect.
All right, so we got
Absolutely.
Kai on
else.
drawn here with no lands in play.
Oh, Kai used all their lands. What to get the
To get the Archon out was the last bit of mana used. We've got land drops 1 and 2 from Kai, Bayou, and Savannah.
What's the second land drop coming from?
The Storm Cauldron allows all players to
everybody
also make an
to drop
additional
two.
land
Okay,
drop.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, and I see Braden's got much less lands as well, which is interesting.
Just the Prismatic out. Cannot tap the Chrome for mana, so pretty dire straits for him. He did Mystical for the Winds of Rebuke, but he's just got so much to get off the board that I don't know that a Winds of Rebuke does anything for him here.
Yep. I think they're very much they're trying to figure out how to get Kai lower life total than anybody else, and I don't know.
I'm not sure that's possible,
if they're
though.
going to time.
I just don't think that... I don't think anyone can really touch him here. I think he's got it pretty well sealed up.
Yep.
Oh, we got the Deafening Silences going to the yard, I guess. And Wild Growth. So it looks like he's just passing the turn here. No reason to mess with anybody or do anything that will potentially take him off the throne. So pass to Braden. Playing, looks like maybe Steam Vents and Exotic Orchard.
How are did those come in tapped though? No, because of Archon.
Yes, they would. Well, he just passed, though. It looks like it, at least. We got Ilvaldi tapping mana here. It is certainly quite possible that everyone can just see the writing on the wall at this point.
Yep.
This has been an incredible game. I can't believe it.
Yep, absolutely wild. Very tense. A lot of fun plays. A lot of crushing stacks, which is absolutely wild. Rebel came very, very close, as did Kai with punchies, and Braden with with 46 and
Yes.
not taking it is definitely saying something. So we've got Ilvaldi tapping tapping twice.
Thinking about it. So notably, Callahan said yesterday that Timmy T1000 is the only person to win their home game so far, I believe, in the league. He was on Niv Mizzet. Curiosity for anyone who didn't see that game. But yeah, it looks like so far all of the home players have not been able to take it home. All right, so we got Valdi tapping his mana out here, returning them to hand.
Did he float 3 off of that dual land?
I'm not sure. Oh, wow, Archon.
I don't think... Yeah, because they should be coming in tapped still. I don't know that an Archon would really change things either, though.
Well, no, I mean, he's just passing the turn and then the game is over, correct?
Yep, it looks like people are picking stuff up at that point. I
Yeah.
think Braden just picked up a bunch of cards. So that's Kai takes it at 26 life.
Yeah, it looks like it. Wow, very well played to Kai. That was
Games.
incredibly
That was
good.
Wild stuff. That the Yisan really came in with the answering pieces.
Yisan was everything here, yeah. So to go back to Rebel's turn before last, she had the infinite, correct?
I believe so.
Do we have the confirmation on that? Yeah, so
I believe so. I think I saw her mention something about it.
yeah, so it looks like she had the infinite, and there was just a sort of a misunderstanding between the players on board about exactly how it worked. So unfortunately, she had the infinite landfall and draw triggers and passed with that. So that's very unfortunate. Kai did have some very just
Crushing
beautiful.
board state.
The curve was just excellent the whole entire game. He just really had the correct pieces at the correct time, which is a difficult thing to do as a stacks deck in the third position, but he really played it very, very well.
Yep. That was excellent. Everybody definitely played that. It looks like Rebel maybe had a pact, Summoner's Pact in hand also.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, I see about 40 of you. Thank you so much for sticking it out through that wild game. And yeah, just keep your eyes peeled. We're going to keep doing this. Throw up all the sad noses and the big drawses and all that shit that you got. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled on this station. We're going to be doing Rebels games and Sages games every weekend. It's going to be really fun, an awesome different spin on things. I'm really proud to be able to share it with everybody. And I think that's about it. Of course, thank you to Mythic Frames, as always, for this awesome, for all the awesome shit they've been throwing at me. And thank you to my amazing, beautiful co-host. That's going to be Dan, the Multiverse's favorite himbo, and I think next weekend is going to be a Saturday, so I may have a different co-host. We'll see how it turns out, but it should be a lot of fun. This was excellent. I was terrified of doing this and how it would turn out, and it ended up being really, really well. Thank you for carrying me, Dan.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a ton of fun. What an absolutely incredible game. There were so many twists and turns in this game. It was truly a very exciting match with great players and great decks. Congratulations to all the players on a hard-fought match. If you want to catch content from any of these players, check the description for how you can find them. Big thank you to the Mind Sculptors for putting on this great event, and to Rebel for asking us to cast her games. If you want to catch the games live, go follow the Mind Sculptors on Twitter for all the updates that you need. One more shout out to all of our patrons who make this great content possible. Thank y'all so much. And thank you for watching. Be good to yourself, everyone.